Learn this skill and you probably get more of what you want in a relationship if you're willing to pay the price. The skill is called iMessages or iStatements, not the Apple iMessages communication system. It's a way of being assertive, clear, and minimizing defensiveness in the partner you're speaking to. An iMessage might look something like, I feel overwhelmed when the kitchen is a mess. I'd appreciate it if you would be in charge of cleaning the kitchen on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So the first part is parts 1 and 2 is about what happens or what happened. The second part is parts 3 and 4 is about what you'd like to see happen in the future. In this clip, I'll talk about why you should use iMessages, how specifically to do it, a couple of examples, how to minimize defensiveness, and the price you need to pay. So an American psychologist in the 1960s and 70s called Thomas Gordon coined the term iMessages. He was a colleague of Carl Rogers, a famous counselor, and he worked in communication skills and conflict management. Why use iMessages? Well, you're trying to make it as easy as possible for your partner to help you. You're trying to minimize defensiveness in them. What are they trying to defend against? Essentially that they're protecting their own self-esteem or any perceived suggestions or evidence that they're unworthy, even if on a subconscious level. You want to make it easy for them to action what you're requesting through your clarity. There's no guarantees, but I think that you'll find that this will generally give you better results. Most people want to be helpful to their partner, but stuff gets in the way. How to use iMessages? Well, I'm suggesting taking 4 steps. The first is I feel upset, I feel glad, I feel appreciative, I love, any of these. I've got a list of different verbs attached to the web page to this post, so pick from those if you need help. Then you say, I feel when, and you want to be very neutral in describing the events. It's really just the facts. As much as you can make them non-blaming, you take a neutral stance. The reason this is an object is so you can remember to be objective about it. Parts 3 and 4 about the future. So, I love it. Let me uncover that. I'd love it if, and then describe what you want to see happen in the future. I'd like it if, now if you want to be clear, specific, and realistic. To make it as easy and practical as for them to do it. Say what you want, not what you don't want. Being specific means putting some forethought into it. It's a lot easier just to say yes, they know what they're signing up for, I can do that. So that sometimes it takes some forethought for you to actually think specifically what you're after. Now the way to deliver it, your words, your gesture, and your tone needs to match what you're actually asking, and that's important. So some examples are, I feel terrible when we're late for family dinners. I'd appreciate it if we could start getting ready an hour before. I feel annoyed when my tools are left in the backyard. I'd be grateful if you'd return them after you've used them that day. I feel delighted when you vacuum the lounge room. I'd adore it if you'd keep doing it. Now you notice the if in this wasn't particularly specific. That's because they're already doing what you were hoping for. It's almost just a way of showing gratitude. So why are people defensive? Essentially, humans try to defend their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves. Everyone wants to feel like they're a good and worthy person. Freud talked about defense mechanisms like denial, projection, repression, ways to protect their self-esteem. Imagine you're getting feedback from your partner. Which are you likely to respond to best? That you're a good person and some adjustments would be helpful, or you're a bad person and here's the evidence to back it up. The key message you want to give through an I message is you're a good person and I'd love your help. The price. So what is the price that you pay? Well, it's actually really important you understand the price, because it can actually stop some people from giving iMessages and getting more of what they want. And that the price is a willingness for humility. Understanding that being humble is not a weakness. And you need to be willing to act in a way that minimises defensiveness, even if your perspective, you're totally right, which of course you are. Using iMessages can feel unusual, but once you're okay with the idea that it's okay to ask for things and be assertive about what you ask, can make you feel better about delivering them. On a side note, some of you out there might think, why should I bend over backwards? Well, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? What you've been doing, how's that been working out for you as an approach? So maybe give it a try. And I acknowledge it's actually harder sometimes to be vulnerable and take a softer approach rather than a harder approach. But if you reframe your goal into getting more of your emotional needs met, rather than wanting your partner to be innately non-defensive and always willing to take advice, it'll probably work out better for you. So to sum up, an iMessage shows your partner the emotional impact of circumstances upon you, and for you to illustrate specifically what you're hoping for in the future. Good luck practicing, guys.